Today in the crypto space, we see the market getting a nice green bounce to the upside. Bitcoin up approximately 2% and Ethereum up approximately 3%. And the rest of the altcoins are deep in the green like Cardano, Solana, AVAX, and many others. In today's video, I want to talk about the general market. I want to use Bitcoin as a leading indicator. But more importantly, I want to give you guys a quick update on Galaxis. The question is Galaxis ready for another bounce to the upside? So you know what? Let's talk about the news. Let's analyze the charts. And let's strategize to capitalize. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and let's get right into it, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome. On the channel, we talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins, looking for opportunities. Whether we go up or down, bearish or bullish, it doesn't matter. All we want to do is stay one step ahead of the market so that we can capitalize on any of the volatility. And if you appreciate the strategy, subscribe to the channel, click the bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, including the live streams at 7:30 Eastern, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Guys, if you have any projects you want me to cover here on the channel, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. You can hit me up on the socials. The links are in the description. Better yet, guys, join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. All right, guys, let's begin. Let's see what's going on here. We see the overall market cap getting a nice bounce to the upside, some relief. 2.4% to the upside for the overall market cap, while the overall trading volume is also dipping down, which is not a good look, to be honest. Why is the trading volume coming down as the market cap is going up, right? And as we saw the market cap coming down, the trading volume is going up. So there's almost like an inverse relationship here, which is not a good look. It could be a divergent type of scenario where we see the opposites happen. Guys, we'll pay attention to this in the next little while. And of course, if we can get a signal out of it, we'll stay one step ahead of the market. Bitcoin coming down after then getting a nice little relief to the upside, which is pretty good. And if you look at Bitcoin comparison to Ethereum, in fact is outperforming. It's up 4%, while Bitcoin is only up 2.9. So yes, they're similar, but so far Ethereum is doing a little bit better. Obviously, we should expect the Bitcoin dominance right now to be looking like it's falling. BNB coming down, basically up 3.4%, outperforming Bitcoin. Solana is definitely outperforming Bitcoin, up 8%. And if you keep on going down, a lot of the larger cap altcoins, Doge and many others, are outperforming Bitcoin. And this is the reality, guys. We know that altcoins have the volatility. I know on red days, altcoins take a big beating, but you got to admit, on this last dip, on this last, sell-off, we did see the altcoins hold up very nicely, which gives me a sign that altcoins are showing a lot of strength in comparison to Bitcoin. Bitcoin came down, while altcoins for the most part were kind of still going sideways within structure. So it's really good. As we scroll down, you see a lot of relief to the upside. Even Cardano up 7.4%, Doge back to range highs, and you see that a lot of these altcoins are back to range highs, looking really good. When you see an altcoin or when you see price action bouncing within range, eventually we should see a break of the range. For example, Near Protocol going sideways within a range for a good period of time. Does a Near Protocol eventually break out for a nice move to the upside, and a breakout to the upside that will take Near Protocol to that whole next level? Near Protocol is very bullish, and at the current moment it is definitely going sideways. Pepe breaking out, making a higher high, up 20% today. Guys, nice move for Pepe. Caspa making a higher high. Guys, the higher highs are coming in, and we can see slow and steadily that we should be seeing it across the market. Render making it a lower high at the current moment, but it's okay. We see what kind of retracement we get. If we go sideways a little bit, maybe a bit of a bull flag for continuation to the upside. Guys, right now the market is looking interesting because Bitcoin is back within structure. We'll talk about Bitcoin structure in a second, and then of course we'll take a look at Galaxis. Let's continue down. We see that a lot of this market is still within structure, still doing good. Look at stacks, maybe going for a higher high, and a lot of these altcoins are getting a good relief or even giving confirmations of potential change of character of the structure, meaning higher highs and potentially higher lows. For example, look at Lido, made a nice higher high right here. Now we come down for a higher low and maybe continuation for a higher high. Guys, this is the way the markets work. If you can basically catch the ebb and flows and get used to the overall patterns that you see here on the charts, basically what you're trying to do is ride the waves, basically ride the waves. And each pattern and each structure and each chart has its own rhythm. And if you can kind of keep up with that rhythm, that's the way you should definitely trade the markets, with a rhythm. Let's keep on going down here. Our weave doing pretty good. Nice move to the upside, guys. Another break of structure to the upside, higher high out of this bull flag. You can see that nice consolidation, continuation to the upside. And as we see, a lot of the bullish projects such as Arweave and many others are doing very well. Like Pith is getting a nice recovery here, very nice, breaking the previous highs, breaking structure. And as the market is, as you scroll through the market, you can see that a lot of these altcoins are doing pretty good here, either reaching previous highs or breaking out for a higher high. Good stuff here, guys. I feel like we definitely to pay attention here, because it could be that the last dip was the last capitulation before we get the bull run, and then maybe we start going sideways here within a range, which is also very fine. Throughout the summer we go sideways, and then September hits, boom, we start moving to the upside. All right, guys, let's begin. Let's take a look at some of this price action. I know you want to talk about charts, so let's begin by looking at Bitcoin, and then we'll take a look at Galaxis as a quick update. Overall, Bitcoin coming down to lower levels, getting a bit of a bounce close enough to the 200 daily EMA, which is good. And as you noticed, I did identify this bull flag early on. Nice impulsive move, sideways price action. We did get to the top of the range, double topped, and obviously broke a structure, came down, and then all of a sudden made a lower low and came back to the bottom of the range. And as we got closer to the bottom of the range, we started to see the long squeeze, a bit of a dip below expectations. Of course, that's totally fine, but then guess what happens? We get back above. Why? Because the market overreacts, and all the liquidations and stop losses get all triggered up and all that kind of stuff, and then all of a sudden we see true value. And true value is what the market believes the price should be. And of course, the market thought that it was a great time to buy the dip, and they basically did, and brought the price right back into structure within this bull flag. So far, guys, you got to admit, as long as we don't break below this low right here, below the 58, and now that we're back above, we're back into structure, we're doing pretty good, right? Back above the $60,500 mark that I've been talking about for a good while. So yes, this could have, got some people stopped out. It could have got a few people liquidated based on, over leverage and over position. But guys, we're back into structure. It's time to think about what kind of possibilities do we have. Do we get a back test and then continuation? Do we just, continue to the upside on as a railroad track type of scenario? Do we come back down below the horizontal support level and touch the 200 daily and maybe respect the diagonal? Guys, anything could be happening right here, but what I can tell you for sure is that Bitcoin is oversold. Bitcoin is oversold in the momentum. You can see momentum, volatility, expansion, everything is very oversold, which means that this is generally a great opportunity to start building positions. Obviously, it would be great to see some bullish divergence, right? For that to happen, we need a few bottoms. We need a little bit more data set points here at the bottom, but it could happen any moment. We do see that the trend is still showing us negativity. EMA is facing down, red histogram bars, and the blue expansion is still facing to the downside. So at this current moment, I think it is fair to say that Bitcoin could be looking for a bottom, for a nice relief rally to the upside, and then obviously it could be that we get a breakout and eventually break out of this bull flag. But at the current moment, we're getting very few confirmations, but it is the time and place to prepare for more confirmations. I would be putting a Bitcoin on your watch list, taking advantage of these lower levels and waiting for confirmations as structure is formed at these zones. All right, guys, let's jump right into some Galaxis price charts. Let's see what's going on here with Galaxis. Just a quick update. I did release a deep dive highlighting some of the details about Galaxis. If you're interested in it, it's definitely in my deep dive playlist on the channel. Go check it out. There's links in the description, of course, and you can see that generally speaking, Galaxis right now is respecting the bottom. It's making a bit of a structure, and this is a horizontal that I put in when I did release the deep dive. At the end of the deep dive, I do have the TA suggesting what could be happening in the next little while, and we do see some horizontal, right, a structure being built. Now, as we were coming down, right, all of a sudden we started getting higher lows, which is a sign of class A bullish divergence. I just want to show you what I mean here by showing you what's happening with the momentum, slightly upwards trending as of now, right? It could be invalidated, but we just need to be prepared that right now we're seeing higher lows on the momentum, as this level right into here we were making higher higher lows, and it looks like all of a sudden we're starting to pivot, we're starting to move. Now, I'm prepared to see Galaxis come down to oversold conditions, which is the 30%, below the 30% mark. It is very, very possible, but I do see a very critical zone here for the bulls to step in and protect because of the lack of volume, the lack of support below 0.009. If we break below, guys, we have a lot of weakness that could suggest that we come down to much lower levels. So what I like about this scenario right here is that we're getting a bit of volume in this upturn. The market is looking pretty good in the immediate short term. We're seeing Bitcoin get a bit of relief. We see Ethereum holding a nice trend to the upside as relief, and we can also see the expansion tapering off here in a nice zone. So what am I saying here? What I'm saying is, you see how the volatility is getting overbought. I'm curious as to see what happens when the volatility gets oversold again. Do the bears have enough strength when they come down for oversold condition to make another lower low? And if that's the case, it's very likely that we break the horizontal and that we go looking for another level of horizontal support. And unfortunately, guys, there's nothing really clear other than this previous bottom right at about 0.006 where we could potentially get some of that support. Let's take a look at the trend. The trend right now is looking okay. We see a divergence because the EMAs are definitely trailing to the upside, and so is the expansion. You can see this expansion is tapering off. The EMAs are still facing down, slowly rolling over, maybe looking for that EMA cross, which would be super, super bullish for the trend for that reversal right into here. So we want to see a bullish cross. We want to see a green histogram bar. That would be pretty good. And ultimately, we want to see how the price actually can maintain this bullish divergence right here at the bottom, and then eventually get some follow through. So back to the price action, momentum and trend are showing some signs of potential divergence and potential support at critical levels. This is a very critical level, to the point that I'm saying here, guys, if you take risk right at this zone, I do understand. It's very understandable why you would want to, because we can invalidate our bullish thesis by breaking below and putting a stop loss at about 0.008, and that way upon a bounce we could definitely start taking profit at critical levels again of resistance, previous highs, clusters of supply and demand that could have some emotional individuals ready to, maybe take some profit or potentially short or whatever the case may be. So I kind of like what's going on here with all this market participation right into here. We could get some bullish response. So with that being said, guys, the setup would look something like this. Enter right around this level, put a stop loss below the wick, more or less, right? Depending on how much risk you're willing to take. Obviously, risk to reward is all depending on your risk tolerance, right? Everybody has a different risk tolerance, and I would say that, taking a bit of profit right here is fine. It's a 3-to-1 ratio. You're up approximately 37%. Your loss would be 11% if we make another lower low where you can cut yourself off and, obviously leave some of that capital to play again. Then on top of that, if we do break out, you can trail up that stop loss and let the price continue going up. And if it decides to roll over, all good. You have a trailing stop loss well into profit. I would even reduce my position size by taking a bit of profit right off this top, maybe about 10%, and then letting the rest run to the upside right to about 1.5, 1.6 cents, which would obviously make that trade up 66%, which would be quite interesting because then at this level, I understand you trail up the stop loss a little bit higher. You ensure that you're walking away very profitable. But the question is, what do you think is going to happen if we break above previous highs, right? Obviously, fundamentals are important. I would be doing research, obviously looking into some of the value propositions behind the project, the tokenomics, the team, and much, much more. There's a lot of good fundamentals to be had here. And my suggestion is that you start doing that research, and you should look into the video that I created, because it definitely is a good starting point for you to get fundamentally bullish. I think at this level, this is where we're at. It's a fairly fresh project. It's fairly new, and there's a lot of price action right now trying to hold, and it does look like we're coming down for a nice rounded bottom to show accumulation before we get another swing to the upside. So far, Galaxis is looking good. Risk to reward for an entry right now is fine. If we do come down to much lower levels, guys, we have to wait for structure once again, put that stop loss in, and hopefully we get that bounce. But as of now, Galaxis is doing great. Guys, if I've offered you any value in this video, do the channel a massive favor, slap the like button. It does really help out with the algorithm. If you want to follow me on the socials, the links are in the description below. Feel free to join the Discord, guys. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. Take care, guys. Have a good one. And don't forget, buy the dip.